Swansea midfielder Sam Clucas has detailed his rise through the leagues, becoming a Premier League footballer is the dream held by millions, but only a few get to achieve it, and even those who do so must cope with rejection along the way. Swansea midfielder Sam Clucas went through it when he was released by Leicester as a teenager, and he has opened up about that experience in No Final Whistle. Seth Burkett, a former teammate, is the author of the book, aimed at young adults and children who are aged 8 and over. It is the fictional account of a young player called Alfie Bennett who bounces back from rejection of his own. Clucas has provided the foreword. Here it is in full. Growing up, I was obsessed with football. I started playing as soon as I could walk, and by the time I could run was taking part in 2 matches a day and then heading to the park straight afterwards, where I'd have a kickabout with friends. If they weren't around, I'd be in our back garden practicing on my own. Wherever I went, I took a ball. By the age of 10, I was lucky enough to sign a contract at the Leicester City Academy. My dad drove me 3 times a week from our home in Lincoln. It took more than an hour to get there and more than an hour to get back. When Leicester released me at the age of 16, it felt like my world had ended. After being there for 6 years, Leicester City was all I knew. I had been sure that I was going to make it into their first team. Being released made me feel like I had let a lot of people down. Those around me had made plenty of sacrifices over the years, taking time off work to get me to matches, driving me to training sessions, buying me boots, watching me play. It hadn't been easy or cheap for them. And it had all been for nothing. But I didn't let that stop me. I used that setback as motivation. I wanted to prove wrong all the people who said that I was too small to be a footballer. I wanted to prove wrong all the people telling me to give up on my dream. Rejection after Hereford's defeat to Cheltenham in the FA Cup in 2012. Most importantly, I wanted to succeed for my parents and those who had supported me. I owed it to them, and I also owed it to myself after all the sacrifices that had been made to become a professional footballer. I signed for a local team called Nettleham. Soon enough I was called up to represent my county, Lincolnshire. That's where I met the author of this book, Seth. Well, I'd been released by Leicester, he'd been released by Peterborough United. We played down the left-hand side, him at left back and myself at left wing. From there, he signed a professional contract in Brazil and went on to write a few books, including the one you're about to read. And myself? I ended up in the Premier League. It's something that I never would have imagined. In the space of 4 years I went from working in a department store to facing Arsenal and Manchester United. Clucas celebrates his goal for Swansea against Arsenal in October 2017. Playing in the Premier League is the result of working hard every day, of listening to the advice of those around me. Ultimately, I believed in my ability despite what others said and never settled for what I had. I always wanted to test my ability at the next level, and in the end that desire paid off. I signed for Lincoln City, then Hereford Industrial, Hereford, Mansfield and Chesterfield. I was moving up through the leagues. Then, finally, I reached the top. I got promoted to the Premier League with Hull and won Player of the Year. When Hull were relegated, I returned to the Premier League by signing for Swansea. The journey proved to myself and all those who doubted me that I was good enough. All of the sacrifices had been worth it. August 4, 2018, 5:15 p.m. live on If I could say anything to an aspiring footballer, it would be to enjoy every second of playing. The percentage of young players who make it professional is very small, so you should have as much fun as you can when on the pitch. If you always listen to your coaches and teachers and keep trying to improve, though, then you never know what can happen. Even now I'm still improving my own game. Learning never stops. Ultimately, football is a game of opinions. You may get told no by one person. That doesn't mean you should give up. The next person may see your potential. If you enjoy playing and keep on learning and trying to improve, then anything is possible. It's what No Final Whistle is all about. It's what my career has been all about. And it's what I've proved with my journey to the Premier League. Anything is possible. No Final Whistle by Seth Burkett is available to buy through Scratching Shed Publishing.